This is an absolute banger, boys, but quick shout out to the homie Cedric Manuba. Appreciate the sub and grilling and chilling with the boys. But we have this insane fight matchup, Islam versus Dan Hooker. Thank you, Dan Hooker, for coming in for the boys and picking up to save this fight. Always love a Hooker fight. That sounds weird, but always love a Dan Hooker fight. The Hangman always brings it on, and always love to see Islam. Islam is in a whole other level. I feel a little bad that Dan is stuck in America, can't see his family, but he's going for that bag and that insane upset to possibly make history on. Islam is looked at as the next Khabib, maybe even better than Khabib. People are already valuing him as the biggest prospect in the UFC, and Hooker is there to hang the man. I mean, he is there to knock him out. But it's hard to go with him because Islam really is that X factor, absolute savagery. He looks good on the feet now. His striking looks pretty darn crisp for the setups, for the takedowns, and his grappling is unmatchable. I think he's going to get it done. I could honestly see a finish in the first or second round, ground and pound or submission, to be honest, because I think Islam is trying to prove a statement and get that title fight ASAP. Because if Michael Chandler wins versus Justin Gaethje, I don't think they're going to run it back with Oliveira. So I think Islam has a good shot if the cards are played right and certain people win and certain people lose. But I got to go with Tapology. I like the 18% to 82. I think that's pretty fair, bullish on the KO. That's the only way I see Hooker doing it. I don't see a decision win. I just don't see. And I could totally see a Makhachev decision win, but I think he's gonna get the finish. I think he's here to prove a statement. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of good stuff, and the first thing that stands out to me truthfully is the 18% that's rolling with Dan Hooker. I kind of was expecting closer to 5 to 6, maybe 7% rolling with the Hangman, but 18% and about 15 of it is pretty bullish on that KO. So very interesting to see that. And you mentioned a lot of the game plan of Islam Makhachev, who is kind of being coined as this next Khabib, right? I mean, you and I are sweaty in the card collecting game, and base cards of Islam are going for just an insane price, right? Like something that's pretty unparalleled when compared to his UFC counterparts. So it's very interesting to see like just how bullish people are on Islam, and it makes sense. I mean, the guy's 20-1. His lone hiccup was when he got knocked out by Adriano Martins in his UFC debut, and it was from that moment on when he made it a priority of his to just not get hit. So you mentioned that the only pathway you envision the Hangman getting this done is by KO. Do you think he's going to land any shots on Islam Makhachev? And do you also think that Islam's going to try and keep this thing standing up? Because we know he's a very smart fighter and that whatever direction he's receiving from his corner, he's not a guy who is going to go against the best available game plan. And clearly that will be to take Dan Hooker down and brutalize him down there. But do you anticipate this thing being played out on the feet for a few minutes, a few rounds? And if so, is Dan Hooker going to land some shots? And that's something Islam hates, right? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I could see Hooker landing a few shots. I mean, every fight stands on the feet, then it goes to the ground, right? So he's got the luck on his side. He gets to at least attempt to knock him out on the feet before he gets taken down. And when Islam takes you down, you stay down. He said he's been working on his grappling. In my opinion, the way he was talking about it didn't seem too promising and bullish for me to really get behind him. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna stuff Islam and really wreck him. But I think Islam is like he's expecting Islam to go straight wrestling, and I think he's going to be surprised by Islam striking, and I could totally see him getting caught by a Michael Chandler low-key meat bomb with that heavy pressure. He's expecting a takedown, drops the hands, and a Khabib Eagle overhand head duck, no looker meat bomb takes off the Hangman. I could totally see that happening, and then maybe a submission finish or ground and pound finish, or maybe just a raw KO. But both these guys, we know they both can get finished and knocked out and TKO'd. So I could totally see either one being slept first round. Hooker has an okay chance, but I just don't see Islam ever being knocked out again unless somehow one of these fighters become the next Israel Adesanya and can take him and stuff him and drop him.
Yeah, and the scenario you played out sounds eerily similar to Khabib versus Connor, right? Connor, I believe, was in the second round. His hands are down. He's anticipating trying to stuff, the infamous takedown that's coming his way, and lo and behold, he gets absolutely cracked. So if Islam, implemented something similar against Dan Hooker, that would be, almost something we've seen before, but something that we shouldn't be shocked by. And ultimately, I like your call of the Islam finish, specifically because Islam does fight to some decisions. I mean, he will finish guys. You got to give him some credit in that his last two wins are both by finish. But before that, he was winning fights by decision. And I just kind of see this one as a main card opportunity, a UFC 267 pay-per-view opportunity where Islam is going to really want to try and put out a guy like Dan Hooker, who, we have seen him KO'd, but just the once by Michael Chandler in the UFC. And he's a very well respected, very tough guy. So if Islam was to get a finish over him, it's a tremendous feather in his cap, and really just kind of proves what all of the hype and what all of the believers are saying and feeling towards Islam Makhachev, because the dude is clearly on another level. So I like Islam by finish. I think he would like the KO TKO, but ultimately, I think the submission might be more likely, just because Hangman's going to be a tough dude to put out. But nonetheless, rolling with Islam finish, no doubt. So, any last thoughts on this one? I mean, I feel like it's just banger after banger.
Yeah, this card is so stacked. It's insane to be honest that Uncle Dana's doing us good this year, and honestly even next year. There's just bangers after bangers for the next couple of months. Can't wait. But yeah, this card is super exciting. Check out other breakdowns. Make sure to check out the Meat Lock breakdown, and make sure to smash that meat and subscribe.